They see us in the future. Oh man,
we're time traveling. Welcome to Girls Run These Worlds. I'm Taylor Felicity. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the MC for season 2 of MonsterHearts freshman year, coming at you on YouTube for this edition. As the name indicates, we are playing MonsterHearts 2 by Avery Alder, who describes the game as a high school horror show, although this particular series takes place in a college setting. Content warning for sex, violence, and general horror elements. And also, I think for this episode, let's add a content warning for infidelity or things that are borderline infidelity, I think will be coming up.
The infidelity of people who are barely dating.
Yeah. There's another thing that might happen, I don't know, but I think that's fair. If it's something that you're especially sensitive to, this may come up for you. And I am going to throw it over to my players for them to introduce themselves. And we're starting with Ava.
Hello, my darlings and dears. It's your mother, Ava, here. I play Athena, and she is from the Siren playbook, flavored to be a harpy. We both use she, her pronouns, and she is a stressed out matchmaker. Oh, and throwing it to MJ.
Hi, what's up, everyone? It's fine, no one remembers me. My name is MJ. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, Leia Dansby, the werewolf playbook. And girl is going through it is probably the most I can say about that. And kicking it over to Val.
Hey everybody, my name is Val. I'm here. And I'm an any all kind of cryptid, though I've been feeling my femme oats and would prefer some she hers for the foreseeable future. But I play Sully, who is a he him kind of person, because he's just a straight white kid, like just straight white man, just somehow like existing in this world. And
a man by way of pony.
I
feel like
you know what, I've said it once and I have said it again, there is nothing heteronormative about monster fucking. Like, even if both characters are like heterosexual by technicality, if one of them's a monster, that relationship's gay. Like, there's nothing straight about that. Like, it's impossible.
Love it. So I think with that, I will just go ahead. I should also say Val is our producer as well as resident pony boy. So shout out to Val for wrangling the tech gremlins as always. But Now, I must do our recap from last episode. So, last time on Monster Hearts freshman year, we see an exterior shot of a slightly shabby but quaint Greek cafe. The sign by the road says the Ambrosia Cafe. The font is green and vine-like. We hear the voices of Athena, Kylie, Leia, and Sully. Okay, what about Jovi? Marlowe? Write it down on these note cards. We see the interior of the cafe, everyone leaning over the booth and passing around index cards. Sully says, what about me? I'm lovable. Medium shot of Athena and Kylie exchanging a look before Athena says, Leo, why don't you let me set you up with someone? We see a shot of Sully sulking at a different booth, looking at his phone, and hear Leia say, B is straight, and how am I supposed to compete with that? Gesturing to Sully. Sully messages B, only if you love me, should we be a couple? And we see a response that reads, fuck it, let's give it a whirl. The theme song for today's episode begins, which is Howl by Florence and the Machine. There's a slow motion. I've been saving that one. There's a slow motion shot of Leia leaving the cafe, Sully looking down at his phone with confusion and horror. A shot of Leia's clothes and bag hitting the ground in Portage Woods, monstrous paws walking out of frame. We see a close-up of Athena whispering with dismay, I am one of those I can fix him girls. Medusa, Sully's mom, kissing him on both cheeks, saying, of course you're welcome to talk to your father if you'd like. You're my perfect boy. Sully's face as he says, I think I made a mistake, Mom. Leia in hybrid wolf form smashing through a dead tree. Cody, scared, on the other side, looking back at her. Athena talking to a little boyish fairy on her desk. How will I know if either side gets a point? You'll know, he replies. A shot of a little fairy in a tulip dress spying on Sully as he gives himself a pep talk saying, I am lovable and I can fall in love. A shot of Jovi leaning towards Athena for a kiss and her pushing him away with a claw. Jovi asking, I already know Leia's a werewolf. Is she good or is she evil? The recap ends with the glow of a computer screen and a close-up of an anonymous comment on his blog post about Leia attacking him that reads, I think I know exactly who you're talking about. And that was last time on Monster Hearts. So this episode, I think we're actually going to cut over to Sully in his dorm room. Sully has made the dorm room nice and like a girl is coming over. And I think you already kind of set the scene of like that you lit some candles and you got like comfy clothes on. Is there anything else you want to establish about what Sully has done to prepare his dorm room for B coming over?
Febreze, but he Febrezed it like before the candles were set because he knows better. Like, and they're not like, these candles aren't candles that smell good in any sort of way. Like, they're not fancy candles. He just so happened to have like in like a container, because why would his mom pack these? I don't know, but she did. Were just these little tea lights. That, you know, they're just kind of like for the windowsill sort of thing. And you know, he goes through his Amazon collection. He goes through. He's like, well, first of all, he goes through his DVD collection or his Blu-rays, like, okay, I don't have 300, and then like, you know, and then it's like, oh, well, fine, is it rentable on Netflix? No. Is it rentable on Prime? No. And then he takes a moment and he's like, I'm determined to do this correctly. So he starts sailing, and I don't, if anybody knows the reference, good for you.
Yeah.
You're old enough to get it. He goes sailing and he finds it and he's like, okay, I'm good. Oh, and his own like
mostly smell based, it seems like.
Yes. Mostly smell based kind of thing. Because you know, he doesn't want to look like he tried too hard, but he doesn't want the scent of male athlete and male tech nerd to assault B's nostrils. Like, that is a combination.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is out of character, but it just reminds me of one time in college, I got the inkling that a guy was interested in me because I went over to his dorm to work on a project, and I could see that he had vacuumed before I came over. And I was like, I could see like the vacuum lines, and I was like, I think this guy might like me.
Someone's mom was on it right. Either he likes you, or his mom's like, you do not have an unvacuumed carpet for company. Like,
yeah. His roommate even mentioned something. He was like, hey, like his roommate came in, like at some point we were hanging out. I was like, did you vacuum? So I knew it was not a normal activity. Anyway, so Sully is kind of prepped. I think this is fine if you want to like change it or retcon it. I think originally you had messaged me and said like, do you want to have like dinner first and then the movie? Are you having her just like come over here? Are you going someplace to meet her? What's the plan?
I think he's gonna like he's a gentle horse. He's gonna go meet her at her door.
Oh, nice.
Or at least the hall.
I guess she's not in her room because she kissed Leia and then ran away.
Oops. That is true.
Yeah, but maybe, but that was not like necessarily immediately before this. So maybe you could have been texting or something, and it's like she's like, "Oh, my last class is like at this place or whatever." So you could meet her someplace on campus.
And then I'll even like text her and be like, "Oh, did you really want to do the mess hall for dinner, or did you want to go somewhere, or did you want to get takeout, or just like 100 different options?" Like the clear nerves of it's like, oh yeah, I can just like hang out with a friend and like smooch them, but to go on a real date, who does that?
Yeah, I think she texts back and suggests that you two get like takeout, maybe, and like eat in your dorm room and like watch a movie. Is maybe the plan. So yeah, like maybe like pizza or something. I think she's like, oh, I could go for like some like good not dining hall pizza. And yeah, so I think you could meet up with her, you know, someplace on campus and then go back to your dorm.
He has a very important question for her, and there's no wrong answer. I mean, there is a wrong answer. Because, you know, he is a vegetarian, so he's going to order a vegetarian pizza, but he has to ask, he's like, what are your feelings on pineapples?
Yeah, I think she texts, maybe this is like you're in person instead of it being over text, like you're together deciding what you're gonna order and like have it delivered or whatever. And she's even go like
inside, we're just in the hallway at this point.
Yeah. You're just in the hallway planning on what you're gonna order for pizza. And she says, I like pineapple. I guess I don't know if I want pineapple on pizza if there's no ham.
Oh, instead of ham, you just have onions.
Yeah, if you want to do onion and pineapple, we could do that.
Yeah,
I've never had that before, but we could try it.
It's actually my favorite pizza because there's just something about the combination of onion and pineapple to then the tomato sauce. It's just a I'm Canadian. We have to have pineapple on our pizza. It's just it's a melody of flavors. If you want something else, we could do like a half of one side and a half other. I'm not the kind of vegetarian that I get like upset about cross contamination. So, because I'm not.
No, that's fine. Let's do pineapple and onion. And I like, you know, like I'm not vegetarian, but I like to try to do, you know, like meatless Mondays, that kind of thing, because it's good for the environment.
I think it's Tuesday.
she's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm just giving as an example. Like, I'm not saying today is Monday.
Like, visibly nervous. Like, he has no idea what he's doing in this moment, which is so weird because considering, like, the first day they met, how, like, confident he was.
Yeah.
Like, this is just, like, it's just like that Jennifer Lawrence meme. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
I think you should roll to keep your cool then.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So this is plus cold.
Oh, there are rolls in this game. I should get the reference.
I know, like, oh shit, I have to roll dice. Like, what is happening?
Oh, Taylor remembered that there are dice in this game.
There's inhalers
dice in my TTRPG.
What? So cold is a 0 for me. I don't want to use my avatar dice. Wow, no. It's a
Oh no.
six. It's a six.
Mark experience? Do you get to level up? Just was I know you were
That
close
is
to
my
it.
level up. Yeah, that's my fourth one, which I will I'll decide what to do with that later.
Yeah, you don't have to decide right this
But,
second.
yeah.
I do have to decide something though, which
Mm-hmm.
is what am I gonna do with this? So I think, oh, this is kind of funny. Your anxiety is almost like giving you blinders, which
Mm-hmm.
is funny because the horse. So you are like kind of looking down at your phone, like looking at the options or like ordering the pizza or whatever. And so you have like really you're so in your head and like
Mm-hmm.
nervous about this that you really have no bead on how B is feeling about this or really anything else that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think we see again, unfortunately, that someone is watching this interaction, someone from the flower court.
Yeah.
And so Queen Mab is going to get a second string on Sully
Mm.
because she's pretty motivated to make sure that this doesn't work out for you too.
Right. I need to write
Um,
down that she has those on me. I'm just gonna put
yeah,
Queen Mab.
Queen Mab got
She
two
has
strings on the boy.
over me. Yeah. Oh no, poor guy.
Um, so can see like Sully having this like kind of can tell that Sully's anxious, I think. Um, but B just kind of is like, Um, yeah. So yeah, pepperoni and onion pizza. Maybe we could get like some like breadsticks or like cheese bread or something.
Yeah, yeah. Or do you want the little cinnamon breads for sweet things?
Ooh, you know what I could really go for? I could really go for some
He's a
JoJo's. Do they have JoJo's in Canada?
What's a JoJo?
They're like potato wedges, but like even better. They're so good.
Well, I mean that's just potato wedges. Okay. I mean, what pizza place does Domino's have those? Because I'm getting Domino's.
Oh, Domino's doesn't have it. I was thinking maybe there's like a local place, but yeah, let's get cinnamon bread then. That sounds
Okay,
good.
and he just like adds like 2 orders of that because he's gonna need so many carbohydrates when he's done. Like,
Um, yeah,
okay,
so you get the pizza ordered and head back over to your dorm, and I think we're gonna cut over to what's going on with Leia and Athena at this point.
Leia!
I hold on. And Leia, as we left her, was like playing guitar on her, but with her messed up hand, she took the sling off. Because why let pain get in the way of your art? Am I right? I practice that daily. But she lost track of time, and so she immediately starts like reaching. She is the brand of lesbian where she has like 5 different kinds of the same gene because she found the gene she likes and she just buys in bulk. So it looks
I don't
Mm-hmm.
exactly
care if you're
like the one
clothes.
she was wearing earlier. There's a specific like Hawkeye panel I'm thinking of where he's pulling on his pants and he has a shirt over his shoulder. And that is how she lets Athena in. Leaning a little bit to one side because she's still hurt.
I don't care if you're dressed.
Okay.
You don't have to dress up. Take that off. I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, it just kind of like lightly pushes her back in, trying
Ow.
to be careful.
Ow,
Trying to be
ow,
careful.
ow.
Wait, why are you out of your sling? Did you have a sling earlier? Like what?
I song I kissed a straight girl?
I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that. Did I feel that? I don't
Why
think I
would
felt
you
that.
feel it?
I was
You
getting
weren't there?
clarification. I was getting no. I was getting clarification from in regards to the rules. Apparently, if I'm involved in making sure that happens, I will be notified in some way. So if I was not notified, that means I did not interact or have any sort of dealing with that. So first and foremost, how'd you feel? Did you want to do it
Bad.
again? Oh, dang it. Okay, fine. Okay.
No, like
Is it something where you want to kiss this straight person again?
yes, but I'm a home wrecker now, I guess.
How did she react to this?
She ran away, which is usually my thing. And now I kind of know how bad it feels, and I feel really bad for everyone I ran away from.
Well, at least there's character development, so good for you. I'm assuming this is B because you said homewrecker.
Can neither confirm nor deny,
That's all the
but
confirm.
yes, she does share this dorm room with me.
You could have just said yes, but okay. And unless you have like a secret second roommate, but whatever. Uh, okay. Okay. Everything is fine. Everything is good. She's gonna have her date.
Oh,
We'll find a way for you to either find someone else or or we will move on and we will improve and have good vibes. Do you want me to order you food? I can order you food.
I so the whining sound, by the way, sounds like every Siberian husky that is in an uncomfortable situation.
Just that's head.
Yeah.
It's okay. They're there. Will it help you feel better if I told you you were right and I was wrong?
I mean, she's still straight, right?
Not about that. In regards to me have like me liking people that I can fix thing. Yeah.
Good for you. Self-awareness.
Yeah. Also, Jovi now knows what I am. You actually may like how this happened. Like this will probably give you ha-has. So, Sully kicked him out of the room. I wanted to see if we could use him for the project, so I had him come over and hang out. And I thought I worded it well of I'm doing a survey for the jazz club to figure out what is the proper like what genre of music do you like when it comes to romance. But he took it as a cue of trying to kiss me. And so I panicked and I heartbeat out and like my entire like she like shifts her hand a bit so like it's a lot larger and clawed. Like I did this to his face. Um so yeah,
Girl,
he knows.
girl. It's Jovi. He probably liked that.
Yeah, I know. I know. I can still panic though. Anyway,
This
we com-
is a
we went
clusterfuck of previously unseen proportions.
we discussed it. He understands. Now, what I meant from that I'm not interested, we're cool. He does know that you're a werewolf.
Everyone knows I'm a werewolf.
Just making sure. He did also ask if you're a good person or a bad person, so just be aware of that on your radar, I
What did you
guess.
say?
I said you were good, just bad with like, interacting with people. You just admitted that you run away from your problems. Of course, I'm gonna say that. Doesn't mean you're not a bad person, that you're a bad person. It's just you are a good person that needs to just work on herself. Like we all do.
Mm.
But hey, maybe he won't be afraid, or unless you wanted him to be afraid of you. Did you want him to be afraid of you?
I mean, I like when men are afraid of me, generally. Um, is that why you ran here?
I ran here for that reason, and then also for the I you told me so I was you were right, I was wrong scenario. Also just to apologize again because the cafe thing, the stuff that happened at the cafe, that was not on me. That was a bad call. I shouldn't have pressured or pushed. Um, and some of that responsibility falls on me, so I apologize.
I'm also gonna say I don't know if this is Athena withholding something or Ava forgetting something, but Jovi did show you that the comment on his blog
Oh yeah,
about
thank you. I did forget
yeah.
that. I thought, oh yes. Also, so Jovi talked about the whole werewolf thing happening on his blog, right? We all remember that.
But no one reads
Apparently,
his blog, so it's cool, right?
Apparently someone did, and they said they may know who he's referring to. Do you happen to have any enemies?
At this point, I think this would be a great place to cut back. Leia's gonna sit down on her bed, take the shirt that was over her shoulder, and just scream into it.
Oh dear. I'll order food.
Yeah. I do love that. Yeah, I think that's a good call, MJ. So we have that.
The pizza
Tina's
guy
like, I'll order
walked past
food.
that particular room to go to mine.
Yes, perfect. That's so good. Yeah. So we follow this Domino's delivery guy, and into Sully's room. And I think when the door actually I think like we follow that as the transition. But I think we'll jump ahead in time a little bit. That you two are like on Sully's like couch, I'm assuming, watching 300.
The homoerotic masterpiece. 300.
Yeah. And B does there's multiple things happening. One, onion pizza, a pizza with onions on it, bold choice for a date.
Yeah.
Like just in general. So the room,
there's a little case of like dentine ice like next to the nightstand. It's fine. And
Yeah.
Listerine. Just it's fine.
So the room has the Febreze smell, and then the unscented candle burning smell, and then the smell of pizza and onion, which is not like the worst. And the movie is playing. B doesn't look super impressed by the movie 300.
That's
It looks
fair.
like maybe it's not exactly her cup of tea. But she is snuggling you.
Yeah.
Pretty closely, is snuggled up against you. And I think I haven't seen 300, so I don't know what part of the movie this
Oh
would
my
be.
god! I mean, like when Leah, first of all, like 300's a vibe. Like it was like Zack Snyder before, like he was like before he, we knew more about Zack Snyder, and then like it's a silly like. There's a lot of slow-mo, let me tell you. There's a lot of slow-mo of Gerard Butler just like in midair.
Yeah. There's a lot of slow-mo and ramping up, I feel like. That is what happens a lot in the movie.
Spartans, it's Greek, and like he didn't want to put on Jason and the Argonauts because like there's like a thing with him and his mom with that guy, so it's not a good thing.
There's maybe probably like close to halfway through the movie, you and B are cuddling, and she says, "Hey, Sully, we've made out a lot, like many times, and it's been great, but every time we make out, it gets to a point where you stop." Which is fine. I totally respect that. Like the makeouts are great. But now that we're like dating, like now that we're like a couple, I just wanted to know, are you interested in doing more, or is that something?
So, Sully, with a very serious face, sort of like sits up in his position and like sits like across from her on one end of the bed with his legs folded together, and he's like holding his feet, and he's like, I am quite interested, but we need to have a conversation about what to expect.
Yeah. Okay.
One, I am actually a virgin. So,
okay.
Two, and I am not saying this as a exaggeration or bragging or anything like that. I'm saying this for your safety.
When you say the virgin thing, she looks like not really no strong
Yeah.
reaction. It's not like she's like
Mhm.
shocked or that she's like appalled, or it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, that's you're like 19 or 18, that's normal.
Mhm.
But when you say the thing about like this is for your safety, she looks so confused and is like, do you have like a latex allergy or something? Like,
Yes, but that's not why. Because you could get latex free.
yeah.
I am huge.
So like, you have to roll to turn someone on.
It's with hot, right?
Yeah.
It's a 12.
So you do get a string on her.
Another one.
Another one. And she can choose from one of the reactions. And I think it's up to Sully,
Mhm.
of course. But I think she's going to choose the reaction of I give myself to you. And when you say like, it's huge, she looks kind of like just surprised, that like you're just like, I have to tell you this. And that's what the response is like. Who could ever foresee that that's what someone
See,
would
at
be
that
telling
point,
them?
you have to feed into the curiosity. Like, you have to prove it to me.
Yeah. And she kind of looks you up and down, even though you're like sitting, and just says, I think I can work with that.
Okay, I would like to reiterate, I am hung like a horse.
She's gonna kiss you.
Okay. 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 Okay.
And I think at this point I'll ask, Sully, do you want to use your sex move? Because obviously we're not going to do a blow by blow of this encounter.
No. So my question is, does the sex move count if they just exchange, if they don't have intercourse? They just...
Yeah. I always take it as like whatever is happening off screen, like even if it's, sex can be all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And also some characters maybe aren't interested in having sex, and a make-out session to them is a chance to use a sex move. So I would consider it like intimacy.
Yeah, they get to third base, like, but they don't make it home. Like, like they gotta, like, it's unfortunately kind of scary, like the kind of stuff, like, and I'm not. He is a horse. Like, okay.
He is a horse. What is your sex move, Sully?
Oh yeah. So, oh man, the straight guy is the first one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think this is our first sex move of the game.
Here we go. Let me pull up. For some reason, I had the character sheet up, but it didn't have the. One second. I'm blind. Pegasus skin. There it is. In my bookmarks, but not saved. Okay. Excuse me. Sex move. When you have sex with someone, give them the condition writer, which they keep until either of you have sex with someone else. When they have it, they can easily pull you out of your darkest self, and when they talk to you, you can't brush them off or blow commitments to them. So I cannot blow off commitments to her unless either one of us do something else. Which at this rate, it might happen tonight. I don't know. Like, B is having like...
B's having a day.
So you mean to tell me that the way to keep Sully from forgetting chicks is just to sleep with them?
Yes.
Oh god. Okay, continue. Continue.
So, oh my gosh, I was gonna ask something and it just completely left my mind. What was I gonna ask? Uh, I don't know. It's completely gone.
It's okay.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I know what I was gonna ask. Sully, can you roll Gaze into the Abyss for me?
Oh yeah.
That's plus
sure.
dark.
Plus dark. Okay. Which is my. It's also a 0 for me. Volatile is my 1. Plus dark. Oh, that's it's a 9.
A 9 is confusing and alarming visions, but you get your answer nonetheless. And I think post whatever happening, the movie is maybe ending or still going. It's on the
There's like
menu screen,
like,
whatever.
this picture of like of a pirate ship. Like
yeah.
like,
the tea lights have definitely completely, burned
point
down to nothing.
At some point he just puts on Waterworlds because it's long and boring and it's just there for noise. Like,
oh my god. I'm imagining if I was having sex with someone and in the middle of it they just like, hang on, it's not gonna put on Waterworld. I think I might leave. Do that. And afterwards the two of you are cuddling or getting dressed or whatever it is that the two of you are doing. And yeah, Sully is afterglow. Actually, yeah, what is Sully doing afterwards?
I mean, Kleenex. And just having that. Yeah, he's takes a moment and he's like, that was I never had anyone do that for me before. Thanks, B.
Yeah, so the Gaze into the Abyss roll is for basically for you to try to get a read on like how she's feeling right now.
Yeah, and like when he says that, she'll look over, kind of reading to see if she also enjoyed herself. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she looks. How do I word this? She looks satisfied. Mm-hmm. Sexually, but also as if she has confirmed something to herself.
Okay.
So there is like kind of an element of like, oh yes, that was a good experience.
Yeah.
Sexually. But also a more kind of like academic, like, I have evaluated something. And
okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm currently rewatching White Woman's One Piece, aka Grey's Anatomy, right now, and I'm going through the storyline where Callie is determining like, is she gay or is she straight, and it's just like, I like both, and like everyone's like, you can't be a kind of a lesbian, Callie, and she's like, yes, I can. Like that's how it works. That's how bisexuality works, kind of thing. So this is kind of reminding me of that moment right now.
Yes. Yeah. So Val, I think over the table, this is B going like, okay, I just realized today that I like girls.
Yeah.
I have to confirm
that I also like.
I do actually like men. Yeah. And so she is confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay. I do also like men.
Yeah.
But she's like also very like she's like I think I said she was like a zoo bio major or something. She's like very like kind of like science-y minded. So,
yeah.
The way that she's going about this discovery is like, all right, I shall look up with my boyfriend.
Meanwhile, like Sully, who is the English lit major, like, it's like, wow. That's not all like how Sarah J. Maas wrote it. Like,
some things have to be experienced for yourself to truly understand. Is Sully thinking like I'm like, is Sully gonna write a poem about this? Like, what is?
Oh, he's not a poet. He isn't a poet, but Sully does journal his thoughts. Like, because, inspiration comes from real life, so he will journal about this.
I love that so much.
His feelings, because he journals before bed every night. Like,
that's so cute. So yes, Sully, I don't think gets the layers of like what's going on with B.
Mhm.
It's just like, yeah, it looks like she had a good time. There's something else I don't quite understand that she's evaluating, but like
She had a good time, and there's like this weight of like tension kind of like off of his chest in that moment. Like, okay, this is good. This will work. Athena doesn't have to get kicked out. Like, that's what's kind of going through his head.
yeah.
Because, you know, his feelings for B are on the fence, but he's also a dude who has, like, a touch thing, who is very physical, so he's an athlete. So he's just like, yeah, you know, that's you know, the only way that straight men are usually allowed to express emotions and like intimacy is through sexual activity. So he's kind of having that like, oh, like this is like a first for me sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's having a moment. You you don't have to you don't have to stay and spend the night if you don't want to, but I'm not also kicking you out. I just want to know what your plan is so that I can prepare myself. And are you okay if you do spend the night if Jovi sleeps in his bed? Because I'm not going to leave him in like Athena's.
I'm not in his room anymore. B is like, we can cuddle for a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'll probably go back to my room. You know, I don't want Jovi to be locked out, but also I don't really want to sleep in the same room with him if that's okay.
No. That's absolutely, that's fair. That's fair.
And she's like, how much longer is this movie?
It's still going. You know what? I don't know. Well, I mean, what do you know about the Greek gods?
That is the point we're cutting. Back over. Is anything else happening with Leia and Athena? What's been going on in the meantime? Because we're jumping ahead a little bit in time.
She has been like catatonically laying on her bed with the shirt over her face, and then once the food gets there, she begrudgingly sits up, starts eating. It's very stressing. I assume it was some kind of meat because she eats meat products when she's stressed.
I got you the meat basket this time.
The meat basket.
The meat basket.
It's just like there's a whole ham in there.
Yeah.
And then
emotionally.
okay, so I need to incorporate this into Leia because it's so werewolfy. Over Christmas, I was told that I, quote, eat bacon like a freak. As in I MJ do, which is that I fold it into thirds and eat the entire thing in one bite. I thought it was normal. No one told me it wasn't.
It's like layered. You're turning it into like a bacon lasagna.
Yeah. But see, I'm confused about the logistics of that because you must eat floppy bacon then because otherwise it would break.
That's what I was mainly thinking. I'm used to bacon being crispy, so just like, are you just like breaking it and then eating it that way?
No, it's floppy. Sometimes you roll it like a fruit roll up. So that's how Leia is eating it.
I get behind bacon roll ups. I'm here for it.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. This is deeply cursed. You're eating a meat basket edible arrangement that has floppy bacon in it. You're just rolling it up and eating it. That's your dinner.
It's so convenient. Everyone thinks it's weird. I implore you to try it if you're a bacon eater. It's so convenient. You don't even have to chew it half the time.
Like I just like the 3 a.m.
like
hunch in the fridge. Do a deli meat. Why not bacon?
Yeah, I do usually have crispier bacon personally, so a little harder to do.
I think as Leia is just like sadly eating her bacon, her meats, Athena's gonna like just text Jovi real quick. I'm assuming Sully will tell you when it's cool for you to go back over. You don't have to leave the apartment, like my dorm right now. Kylie's gonna be staying at her friend's place, so you can chill as long as you want before you have to go back. Sorry I had to leave. monster shenanigans, I guess.
Yeah, go
And then an
ahead,
owl
MJ.
emoji.
Yeah.
Aw.
As the bacon roll up eating is happening, she says at one point, I have an enemy.
Uh,
I mean, like, a few enemies, but one seems. Remember when I broke my face?
yeah, that happened like a couple days ago, like 2 days
A
ago,
lot has
technically.
happened since that.
A lot has happened.
When I was beating you know, like, sometimes when I get angry, my eyes turn like yellowish, and the things
Mhm.
start to. There was a little more than that.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I'm just a normal teenage girl with claws and fur sometimes.
I do love the change between me saying that he knows that you're a werewolf and you saying everyone knows I'm a werewolf, and then you going back to your I'm just a girl bit. So I do appreciate that. That's very lovely. Okay. Okay. How do you want to handle this?
I mean, if we kill her, she can't tell anyone.
Leia, we just dealt with people trying to murder people last semester. Please, let's not do that. Please, let's not do that.
Yeah, I guess then I'd have to kill you because you know, and I like hanging out with you.
Like, you could kill me. Semantics. Nope, no. Anyway, I'm gonna say a thing, and me saying this is not me trying to find reasons to hang out with this person. And I'm saying it only because Sam's not here yet. Back yet.
No. 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 No.
Do you need?
He hates me.
Yeah, but his job is literally to protect us.
He hates me so much. With good reason.
But Leia, my dear Awu friend, Leia, I am so worried for you. You're injured. You're sad. You're in your sad gay hours, and now someone may try to hurt you.
We don't know what her plan is.
She did fight you, so at least we know she's okay. We know that she's okay with violence.
Well, like, what is she gonna do? Is she gonna, like, call up my coach and say, hey, number 24 is a werewolf? That's not in the NCAA rulebook. Ain't nothing saying a wolf can't play hockey.
God, I'm sick of Airbud. Anyway, true. I think the main issue is we don't know what this person, if it is truly that person, we don't know what she would want to do. Maybe it's best to see if we can get some, like, reconnaissance on her to see, like, how does she feel about monsters? Is she a monster herself? And maybe this could just be duked out monster style. I don't know. Or maybe she's like a Jovi. She could be a Jovi for all we know. So having someone who is specialized in looking into that stuff to protect us would be beneficial.
Counterpoint. That means I have to interact with Chris.
I'll make it as minimum as possible, and as soon as Sam gets back, we'll put the responsibility on her. If she wants to. I'm sure she would want to.
No, I don't want to put that on her. She's gone through so much.
She's got you so much. See, and that's why we should put this on credit.
More aggravated bacon eating.
She's starting to help roll up the meat and handing it over.
I imagine she
go,
puts a
honey.
piece of. I imagine she puts a type of meat inside of another meat and then like it then rolls it
Take
in
a
the
pizza,
bacon.
roll it in a hot dog, stuff it with some jack cheese. You got cheesy plasters.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
But yeah, she's just helping with like
Yeah.
making sure Leia is happy with her basket of meat.
Okay, look.
Mm.
You talk to the guy you're gonna fix. I can call my family. They've bailed me out of stuff like this before because I maybe thought it was cool that I was a werewolf. It is still kind of cool, but I know you're not supposed to just drop that on people anymore. That was a good lesson.
To tell
And-
Sully. Not now, because I know he's stressed out of his mind.
Oh,
Maybe
he's
tomorrow.
stressed. He's stressed.
He's the Sully stress. It's different from your stress, but you know how he stresses.
He's actually currently very relieved.
Oh, I still have to live with her after all.
Wanna just switch rooms for a
No,
little
that's
bit?
the coward. That's the coward way. I'm not a coward anymore.
You were never
I'm so proud of your growth. It makes me
I
so
don't think it's
happy.
growth. I think it might be stupidity. I think I might have been concussed. The evaluation was not super thorough.
I'm gonna take it as growth because I want that for you, friend. Now hush and eat your meat.
You can't just tell a lesbian that, Athena.
Well, I just did. So shoving
Yeah,
another roll up.
imagining Athena just pressing rolled up meat into Leia's mouth. Okay. So I think the next thing that we'll see is B doesn't go back to her room until like pretty late. So I don't know if Leia would already be like asleep or even just pretending to be asleep because she doesn't want to talk to B. I'll leave that to you, MJ.
There's no way she's sleeping or pretending. I think that part of her assumes that B would be spending the night. And so no matter how late it is, gosh, no, we have to do this song. She is like trying to do homework. She has the headphones on. But they're at Leia volume, which is aggressive. The song question has to be "Wow, I Can Get Sexual Too" by Say Anything.
Good.
And
yeah.
I think she jumps a little bit when the door opens. She's clothed this time for clarity's sake.
Yeah. It's pretty late. It's probably like 1:30, 2 a.m., something like that. By the time B actually like gets back to the dorm. And I think you can tell her cheeks are like a little bit flushed as if she didn't come straight from Sully's, maybe like went on a walk outside or something because it's cold. So has that kind of like invigorated from being in the cold air kind of look to her. And her hair's like, like in like kind of a messy bun. And she's wearing like kind of comfy clothes because that's what she and Sully were doing, like, oh, night in, watch a movie. And sees that you're still up, and her eyes get really wide. And she kind of just goes over to like her side of the room. Doesn't really like, I think looks at you, sees like that you have jumped and realized that she's there, and just goes to like kind of like slink into her bed on her side of the room without saying anything to you.
We're not gonna be a coward. Leia just like slowly takes the headphones off. You can hear, but she's not gonna stop the song.
Yeah.
We should talk, I think.
Yeah. We should talk. I'm dating Sully.
Yeah, I was there for the text.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what got into me. It was like just kind of, I don't know. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I mean, I'm glad I'm dating Sully. I shouldn't have kissed you. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't want to kiss me either.
It's and she looks like kind of like she doesn't know what to say. I think MJ, you should roll to shut someone down on B. You do have strings on her if you want to spend them. Like you can spend one
No,
to
I have
increase
a
the
bad
roll.
idea that I'm gonna.
Good. That's always a good sign.
That is a 10 too.
Nice. So a 10 is you. That's a full success. You can choose either she can I think does she have a string on you? She might not have any strings on you. She doesn't have any strings on you. So you can take another string on her. You can give her a condition or you can take +1 to your next roll.
I will do +1 forward.
Okay.
Because I have terrible ideas.
Good. So you say I wouldn't want to kiss me either. And she like had been kind of like sitting on her bed and like kind of like trying to get under the covers and just hoping like I can just go to bed and wake up and nothing will be wrong. And so she kind of like swings her legs back onto the floor and like leans forward with her like hands kind of like on her thighs and says, no, I don't want you to think. If anything, I did want to kiss you. That's why I kissed you. It's not you. It's everything's wrong with me. I'm the one who's doing something wrong and is wrong and bad. It's not you.
Do you bear with me? I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
Do you listen to Sleater Kinney?
She like nods.
Okay. You know Leia has a copy of Hunger Makes Me a Modern Girl. It is signed like that Taylor Swift poster. Like Carrie Brownstein defined her childhood and teenage years.
Yeah.
And so she fully pulls it out, and it takes a little bit of flipping through to get to the part. She's like, Carrie and Corin lived together in college, and Corin had a boyfriend. But after she hung out with her boyfriend, she and Carrie would just like start kissing, and it was fine because they were both girls and they weren't dating.
You're like, I have an idea. How about we secretly cheat?
And they made their best album because of that.
B is definitely looking conflicted with your plan.
I have 5
are you
strings on her.
Yeah,
I am fine.
Are you wanting to make a move?
This is also completely unnecessary because Sully's fine with the polycule. He's the son of Russian monsters and gods.
This is like the best possible version of like a miscommunication trope. Because it's like everything could be fine if there weren't a Fae pact in play, and also if Sully and Leia would just talk about this.
No, we don't do that here.
Yeah, are you wanting to pull a string or are you wanting to do a move and use a string with it?
I was gonna pull a string. I can make you're the GM. You tell me what to do.
Okay. Let me look at the options. The only reason why I ask is because obviously you can pull a string, but rolling to turn someone on, I just think is so much juicier
It's so juicy.
generally. So I think if you're fine with either, I think you can roll to turn someone on, and you could spend a string to add one to the roll.
That's an 11.
Cool.
She's so bisexual. She's just turned on.
This is a confusing day for her.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you say this thing. I'm imagining that B got into Sleater-Kinney through watching Portlandia and then was like, Carrie Brownstein's cool. Like, it's not likes music, not as much as Leia does. And so definitely didn't know this like history behind this album or anything. And so as listening, she's like looking conflicted. And then I'm imagining like as you two are talking, you're sitting at your desk. She's like sitting at her bed, but you're both like kind of like leaning forward and
Leia's always like sitting backwards on the desk like a bro, and so she has her arms folded over the back of it.
yes,
the leg thing is bumping too because she doesn't have the tail out, so the tail can't lag. But
and as you're kind of like you're like leaning over the back of the chair, she's kind of like leaning in on like sitting on her bed. She's like, I mean, we never really talked about if we were exclusive.
My brother's a lawyer. If it's not in the contract, you don't have to hold to it.
And only looking for love.
This is why Micah went to law school. This is the real reason.
For polyamorous.
I don't know Fae law, but I do know polyamorous law. There's some overlap. So
God, that actually could be law stuff because of the Mormons.
Yeah. And I think, oh my God. Okay. There's a glint in B's eye that is kind of this evil part of her that is saying, if Leia and I also sleep together tonight, then I will be able to really compare sets of data like really well because we'll be so close to each other. So you do get a string on B. You get another string on her because that's what you get with a full success with roll to turn someone on. And I think she says, I'm gonna have to tell Sully at some point. Like, at least before he and I hook up again. Also, disclosure, I did hook up with him tonight.
How did that make you feel?
We don't need to talk about it, but I'm just saying.
Okay, that tells me what I need to know.
Just want to disclose to you. And then I promise. And she's like kind of talking to herself, but just talking out loud. And she says, before Sully and I hook up again, I'll tell him about you and me. I think that this is fine. That would not be fine. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think she just kind of like launches herself.
Watch farm.
Girl, she's still injured. Oh my God.
She is. Ooh, buddy.
And I'll ask you, do you want to use your sex move?
I do, because this is a great one for the drama.
Yeah.
And Sully's now free.
Yeah. See,
Rider condition didn't last for very long.
I'm doing a favor.
Oh
man. Okay. when you have sex with someone, you establish a deep spiritual connection with them. Until either of you breaks that spirit connection by having sex with someone else, add 1 to all rolls made to defend them, you can tell when that connection has been broken.
This is so good. I love that you both have sex moves that are like, you're connected to this person intrinsically. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to stay. I'm sure there's gonna be, you know, some after stuff. At some point before she actually goes to sleep, Leia's gonna text Athena, say, I fucked up. I slept with a straight girl.
Athena, when you get that text, you know you just got a point.
And all she's gonna do text back is like, girl, sleep with her as much as you want. I got a point, baby. Good night.
And also just over the table. So the point system and your guys' end is more, I would say, more difficult than what Queen Mab has to do. It's not just like, oh, 2 people hook up or 2 people kiss or whatever. It is literally fall in love. That doesn't have to be true love or forever love or something like that. But there has to be, like, on both sides, this spark of this is something. This is something more than just lust. This is like an actual connection. So Sully and B hooked up. Obviously, they both had a nice time, but it didn't have this deeper connection than what has just happened with Leia and B. Also, Ava, I'm not getting your audio. I couldn't tell if you were talking just now, but I'm not getting your audio.
Testing.
Oh, now I am.
Okay. It's a temporary headset. We'll be ready the next time.
I couldn't tell if you were just nodding or if you were talking.
Oh yeah, no, just nodding.
Okay, cool. So we'll jump ahead, I think, unless there's anything that anybody wants to do tonight.
Just journal.
Yeah. Oh, what's reading in this journal? You don't have to have like a word for word journal entry off the top of your head. But
there was a lot of emotions that happened that day. But I think the gist of it is, this is all for his best friend, and because it's for her, he is willing to do what it takes to keep her safe.
Yeah.
And he's not, and if he gets his dick sucked in the process, who's complaining?
Oh Lord.
Sully.
It was beautiful, and then
he's just a man.
He is. He's 19.
I love this. So yeah, we're gonna jump ahead, I think, a couple of days. So it's like mid-week. And what are people doing? I have some things that are things that we've talked about maybe happening at some point nebulously. Obviously doing stuff to plan for this Valentine's event, or have a more solid plan of what are we gonna do to entice people to fall in love. You could do that. You could scout out some of the different people that you were oh, maybe we can get these people to hook up, or fall in love. When I say hook up, I mean more romantically. You could also, you talked about going to Chris and talking about stuff with him. Athena had mentioned going on a date with Chloe, the girl that Sully had forgotten that he made out with. But then of course, you can really, whatever you want to do, feel free to let me know. So what are people thinking?
I do want Athena to talk with Chris in regards to the Leia situation, but eventually she would like to have hang out with Chloe and either see if maybe we can get her in on this weird thing that's happening with someone else.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing is Leia wanted to talk to one of her brothers or both of her brothers. That's another thing that we had going. Okay, so yeah, Athena talk to Chris and then talk to Chloe are two things that we want to do. I'm assuming Leia talk to her brothers is something that you're gonna want to do
Yep.
relatively soon. Is there anything that Sully has on his agenda?
Oh man, I think Sully is gonna get in contact with Mothman for Jovi. I think that's his goal this week.
I love
to
that.
Introduce them. Like...
Yes, that's very good. Okay.
Oh,
So
one other thing on Leia's radar would be at one point she wants to check in with Trinity and see if she like really got hurt in the game.
oh yeah. Cool. Yeah, let's do. What order should we do this in?
I can go last because I just had a whole last thing.
Yeah. Let's you know what? Let's get some more juicy stuff going on. Let's have Athena and Chris. Because that's that's another thread that we want to pull on. Yeah, what is the setup for Athena and Chris hanging out? Do you have like, are you just gonna like try to get in contact with him and talk to him? Do you have like, oh, we're gonna like go to this place and do this thing? What's the situation?
I think she's going to contact him saying like, hey, something's happening in regards to one of your favorite people. Need to talk privately. Is there a location we can go where I can freely just vibe? And vibe is in quotations. Essentially, she just wants to just like float around in the air while she's talking.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, I like that a lot. Okay, I think probably um then I think we see this text, and then the next thing we see is Athena arriving at this place that Chris has been like, oh yeah, let's go here. And what I think this is that Chris is not the only like quote unquote like chosen one, I don't think. Like I think there's other like he's the one in his family, and his family is kind of known for this, but I think there's other like people who do like similar stuff to him, there's like other people who like protect monsters or protect like innocent people and they have monster powers. Like there's kind of like a protectory kind of like, people. So I like the idea. It's probably kind of far from Buckland. Like it's probably like an hour plus drive to get there. But Chris gives you the information for what is essentially like, those places that are like people go there for like team building things, but it's like the rope courses kind of places.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the place that you go that he like tells you to meet up at is one of those kind of places, but it's like specifically built for like monsters and people with like supernatural powers and stuff like that. So there's other people here, probably not very many, like maybe like one or two other people who are training. And it's like, but there's also like batting cages and like stuff like that. It's like one of those like kind of like, I forget what they're called.
It's
but,
a
like,
YMCA for magical people.
Yeah, or like, but like outdoors, like those entertainment, or like, oh, there's putt and like batting cages and rope courses, whatever. It's like one of those, but it's for like this is for training and like blowing off steam as like a magical person. I don't have a name in mind for this because this just came up. So if anyone thinks of a name, let me know, or if I think of one. But yeah, definitely a place where like Athena, you would be able to like fly around and blow off steam, and also a place that's like the one thing I'll say is you don't know if it would be protected. It probably wouldn't be protected against like Fae specifically, but you are out of the rain, like you are out of the realm of the flower court, so like potentially a little bit safer than just like if you were on campus. So yeah, I think we see like this the shot of Athena like kind of going into like this location where there's like these ropes courses and all this different stuff, and we see what kind of creature would this be? Maybe like somebody is like on the ropes course and they go to swing and miss and like wings sprout from their back and they like fly up to like another spot. And this is kind of like the foreground or the background of what we see, and like Athena's in the foreground walking towards it. And when you go to Chris, he has his sword that he used before when you had the run-in last semester, and is in basically like a training area that has like dummies and stuff like that, and is like practicing with his sword. He's good at using the sword. I mean, he's very athletic, he's very like skilled at what he's doing. And kind of as you come in, kind of like wipes his sweat off his forehead a little bit, and I was like, hey, okay, so what did you want to talk about?
First, put the sword down just real quick. Just lay it away from your hands.
Okay, yeah, goes and like puts it in like the holder.
Thank you. Your best friend Leia is in trouble. I know you don't like her, but someone she slightly exposed herself during a game a couple days ago, and
Oh, shocker.
hey, none of that right now. It was out of
You're coming
frustration.
to you're coming to me for help.
I know, but I don't want judgment from you right now. Anyway, it was out of frustration. She was trying to protect someone during a game. It happens, whatever. But this person may have put two and two together. And I don't remember if you remember Jovi and how he has a blog and he talked about the werewolf thing. Someone
Yeah.
commented on that blog post, and we suspect it may be her. So we don't know her intentions. We know that she's willing to fight Leia because that's how it happened. But uh, I don't know if there's anything on your end where maybe we can maybe gauge how she is.
So
Essentially, is Leia going to be
basically,
okay?
that's a big question. So basically what you're telling me is
Hate him so
last
much.
what you're telling me is last semester Leia fucked up and exposed that she was a monster to someone. And then that person did something publicly. And now this semester, Leia fucked up and exposed that she was a monster to someone. And oh, wow, her past mistakes caught up with her. That's what you're saying?
You don't have to be such a dick about it. Didn't we say
I'm
that you're going to work on like maybe
I'm
being a
gonna
bit more of a people person?
I never said that. And
I
also,
think you should.
I'm helping her. I'm not saying, "Oh, I'm not going to do anything." Obviously, I'm going to help her. That's what my job is, but I'm allowed to be a little irritated that she's not making it easy on me, on any of us.
I get that. I understand the frustrations. However, maybe I don't know about this whole chosen thing and the stresses that it builds up as a youth, but we're still young. These mistakes are going to happen. That's why we put these things in place to make sure that we're still protected when young people do dumb things.
Okay, Athena, obviously people make mistakes. That's fine. I understand that people make mistakes. The only expectation I have of people that are under my protection is they don't make the same fucking mistake over and over and over again.
And that's growth. She's going through her growth stage right now. Like I said, this happened out of the need to protect someone in a very public space. Should she have not done that? Correct. She should not have done that. Should she have been able to rein it in a bit more? Yes. But things happen, especially when you're playing hockey.
If hockey's going to be a big trigger for her doing stuff like this, then she should stop playing, but that's out of my control. Okay. Ugh. All
This is
right. I
exactly
can,
why I did not bring her with me.
well, I'm gonna need to talk to her at some point because at this point, okay, the only thing that I can do, one, is try to cover up for whatever just happened and figure out who this person is and what's going on, and if she exposed her secret to a person that is really bad to expose a secret to, because who knows? It was already good that Jovi didn't turn out to be someone who likes to kill monsters, but who knows if this other person is. So that's the first thing I gotta do is figure out who this person is and what they know, and everything goes along with that. But I know you're saying, okay, Leia's growing and she's learning, but like, I think at this point, I gotta get some time in with her and try to teach her some kind of ways to control herself because I don't want to keep doing this over and over and over again for the next 4 years, just constantly doing the same thing of Leia lost control and attacked someone. Like, that's not
I
sustainable.
mean, it's not just going to be you. She has support systems. Sam is off doing her training so she can be a better support
Yeah.
system too. So it's not just going to be you. I think one of the things you need to realize, this shouldn't be all on you
But it
right now
is.
because you're making it that way.
Um, he looks like really pissed off when you say that. Um, and says, "Yeah, I chose this. I chose this for myself, sure."
I
Um,
didn't say that you chose this for yourself. I get that you did not choose this life. No one chooses the life that they're born into and are raised into. I get that. But we do what we can with the situations we have. So I'm just saying, just because you're a chosen, you don't have to put all of this weight on you. I came to you to get advice and see what you can do to help Leia, but I'm also here. I want to help Leia. You can tell me things to help you with that.
do you have any strings on Chris?
I do.
Do you want to pull a string to tempt him to do what you want?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to hang on to it and use it for something later, it'll just make it like what you're proposing to him, which is, hey, you're essentially saying, treat me as an equal. Like, don't treat me as someone that you have to protect. Treat me as an equal. I can help you. Which, because of who Chris is and like how he's been like
Which is
brought
so
up.
funny because of the sex move I have is dealing with I treat the person as a partner or an equal. God damn it. Just drag him
You,
into a closet at this point.
The
yeah,
narratively
you're gonna
satisfying sex moves are the theme of this session.
Yeah.
So I think like you don't have to pull a string to get him to help Leia and like help with this whole situation. That's what like you would have to pull a string to get him to not do that. The thing that I would say if you want to get on top of that, if you want to pull a string on him, is to get him to let you in more and not just treat you as like another person that he needs to protect. So if you want to hang on to the string, you can, then like use it for something else later. Or if you want to spend it now to like have him actually open up to you, up to you.
Let's do that. And uh I think the way that she's gonna frame it, because I also realized she also did a dumb thing and revealed herself to Jovi. So it's like, oh, I should let you know this too.
Yeah.
By the way,
By the way, hee hee. Hee
Yeah.
hee hee hee. You could also yell at me. But look, I'm willing to be forthcoming with you. I'm just asking for the same thing in return. For example, I'm okay if you yell at me if I tell you that during a hangout with Jovi, I had a freak out and face. And she'll just like put her clawed hand on his face. Like
Did you
that happened.
did you hurt him?
No, it was he tried to lean in and it was more so just a pushing motion away.
Okay.
So he's fine.
Uh,
He's fine. We're cool. We talked it out. But see, I'm being honest with you. If I didn't want to have this established bond of honesty, I would not have told you.
okay, that is oddly comforting. Hang on one second. He like kind of like stretches a little bit, like he was like just working out, so his muscles are kind of like tensing up. He does like a stretch. He's definitely wearing like just like a tank top. His arms are like super. His, he's hot. He's hot. What can I say? And like does a stretch and is like, okay. I'm stressed out about Sam. I'll tell you
Hmm.
that. I don't know why she's doing this to herself. She doesn't have to do what I do, and I don't think she should, to be honest with you. Um, so I'm stressed out about that. Obviously, I'm stressed out about Leia. If I had the energy, I would yell at you about the Jovi thing, but like just a hat on a hat at this point. Okay. Um, I know she's not gonna like this. I know she doesn't like me, but I do need to talk to Leia at some point because we gotta get this under control.
That's fine. That's fine.
Um, how's the Faye stuff, by the way?
Oh, I forgot. You're also a student, so I'm going to also ask you this: what type of romantic vibes do you like? Like, what things are you attracted to, and like, what type of music is a romantic vibe to you? Because it's for
Um,
research purposes for the Valentine's Jazz Club thing. I'm
uh,
not. There's no alternative motives whatsoever. None whatsoever.
none whatsoever.
Don't look
He
into this
says,
too deeply. Just answer the
okay,
questions.
I'm not going. Is this what happened with Jovi?
Yes, and I honestly thought I worded it platonically as possible.
That guy really doesn't have a clue. Okay. Yeah, I guess like I dancing's fun. That's like any kind of music you can dance to, I think is nice. Um, what do you want to know what my type is? Is that what this
Yeah,
is?
yeah.
Um, I guess like somebody that I don't have to take care of. Um,
Hmm.
somebody that can kind of hold their own. Somebody who's not gonna be super like sensitive because like sometimes I gotta, sometimes I gotta bark orders at somebody. What can I say? Sometimes things are tense. I don't have time to be nice, but I'm not mean. I don't, okay, this is,
Still need to work on that person. I think a little bit. Just like she needs to manage her werewolf things, there are some things that people can manage from themselves. As a suggestion, just a suggestion.
okay. Is that what you need?
That's essentially it. If you want, because I'm here, I'm down to train. Actually, you take 5 minutes. I'll get you some water. You look like you need some water, and
Dehydrated.
I want a meat roll up now for some reason. God, I hate everything. Don't
Um,
ask what that is. And she just walks.
you walked away. Uh, I think we get a shot of Chris watching Athena walk away, and I think especially because you pulled the string, he is looking at you with like respect and also a little bit of like bewilderment of like what the hell, like how did this person just like waltz in here and get me to say all of my private thoughts and stuff I've never told anyone. um so there is like some admiration and like a little bit of confusion on his face as he watches Athena walk away, and I think that's a good time for us to take our break. So yeah, we're gonna take like 10-15 minute break, and be back with more Monster Hearts.
Everybody, wait.
Bye.
See you later. y'all.
Hi. We are coming back from our break for season 2, episode 3 of Monster Hearts freshman year. And man, we wow.
Shit's messy.
We got sex moves. We've got turning people on. We've got pulling strings.
Sounds like this game was designed for this or something.
We have it all here, folks. So we're gonna get right back into it, actually. And I think let's do Leia wanted to call family members, call in a lifeline.
Yeah.
So yeah, what is this? I'll let you set the scene as like, you know, what the call is, who you're calling, etc., etc.
So Leia was not like super close to her parents. We established that in season 1. She was the, you know, the oh, we're done having kids, wait, oh crap. So she was mostly raised by her 2 older brothers. Micah is 8 years older than she is. He was the one who started his law career. Asher is 10 years older, and he is a consultant in Chicago now. I believe Micah is operating like somewhere in the state of Ohio too, but like not around Buckland. So there's a group chat that's mostly memes, but periodically someone, almost always Leia, because she's the youngest one, so she's the one that has the most mishaps at this stage of her life, goes, hey, emergency pack meeting. And so she waits until her close female friend, trademark, leaves the room for the day, and then probably hops on a Zoom call with the 2 of them.
I like that a lot. Yeah, let's say Micah, if he is working in Ohio but not super close, I don't think we've like directly established, because obviously Buckland is a fictional college in a fictional town, but I think we've kind of established definitely has more like Southeast Ohio vibes. It's more like Appalachian kind of thing. So I think Micah maybe works in like Cleveland or something, because that's like most of the courts and stuff in Ohio are in Cleveland, or Columbus, but Cleveland is like probably like 3-4 hours, so that's like enough distance that like you're not seeing him that often, but like is not, you know, undoable.
I've driven past Ohio. It's the worst 4 hours of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're you get on the Zoom call with both of them. And do you think that Leia is on first, or do you think you get on the Zoom call and they're already waiting for you?
They're probably already waiting. They have way better senses of punctuality than she ever did.
That's what I was thinking too. I didn't want to make the call because obviously Leia is stressed out, so maybe you're, you know, unusually early, but so yeah, you get on the Zoom call, your 2 brothers are already on the call. And Asher, your oldest brother, looks like, by your description, to be fair, a younger Jake Gyllenhaal. Micah, who's 26, is you know, also younger than Asher, and has like kind of a little bit of like a close cropped beard and like kind of short, slightly curly reddish hair, like red blonde hair. And they're both like kind of already on the call talking to each other, and then when you join, Micah's like, okay, so you finally joined us, even though you're the one who organized the call. What's up?
Hi. Missed you. I think I want to make it that part of the showing up late was that Leia like saw all the facial bruises, went, uh-oh, they can't worry about me, has never
Oh,
used
no.
makeup before, tries poorly to apply it.
Oh,
Then when
no.
she logs on, she starts like scratching under her eye absently, which reveals the skinless knuckles and pulls off the makeup.
Yeah, I think when that happens, Asher is like, whoa, 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 hold on. Do we need to beat somebody up?
That idea was rejected.
By who?
A friend of mine. I mean, technically it was an offer to kill. That's why I'm here. Please help me.
I think both of them almost in tandem kind of do their own, not the frustration that Chris has, which is like Chris doesn't respect you.
Yeah.
but more of a brotherly frustration of like, here we go again, Leia's in trouble. And Micah like looks and he's like, okay, I could probably be there by like 4. Do you need, is this a lawyer situation? Is this
Maybe.
okay?
I you know how we get a little protective sometimes.
Okay.
I had a game a few days ago, and there was a dirty player on the team. And so the refs weren't gonna do anything, and I decided that she needed to be taught a lesson.
Okay, is she in the hospital or
No,
okay?
but she maybe saw some things she shouldn't have, and talked to at least one weirdo I go to school with about. I mean, talked is kind of an overstatement. She like left a comment on his blog, but I think that's like the closest thing he has to. You know what? Not relevant.
Asher's like, okay, so this is not a legal thing. This is like just somebody knows something
Yeah.
about you, which we
Yeah.
can't go into detail. I think like he starts to get into detail. Micah interrupts and is like, yeah, this is a Zoom call, so we can't really get into a lot of, who knows who's
Sorry,
monitoring this.
I wanted to see your faces.
When you do that, Micah still looks like kind of like this brotherly irritated look, especially because he's like, I might have to take on an extra case of my sister. Asher softens a little bit and is like, okay, how much do you know about this person? Like, can we try to figure out who they are, if they actually know anything?
Yeah, so we above table don't know her name, but that would be pretty easy to find because we know her number and the team she plays for.
Yes. So I'm assuming Leia would have like put some time into
Yeah.
like figuring out who this person is. So you do know her name at this point, which is Jessica Abramson,
Okay.
is the name of the player number 15. And yeah, and you know that she's from Michigan, or well, she's maybe not from Michigan, but that's the school you were playing against. So, um, and we'll say like, probably probably honestly not that far the school from where Micah is. So like you're kind of like saying this different stuff. But yeah, you know that her name is last name Abramson. Um and I'm assuming you're communicating that
Yeah.
to your brothers. So they like both start immediately doing like some Googling and looking into this. And are like, uh, okay. I think Asher's like, okay, so this is tough because it's like, do we just like kind of wait and see? That's not really, I'd rather be a little bit more proactive. And Micah's like, well, we really just shouldn't do anything too proactive because we don't want to get into like, the Barbara Streisand effect where looking into this and like trying to affect things too much makes it a bigger problem than it already is.
Yeah. There's just sort of a little flashback of a hockey camp that Leia could not go back to.
I think Asher starts going like, do you give them like Jovi's blog or whatever? Like,
Yeah.
okay. Asher starts going like, okay, I mean, maybe I can look into trying to get this website just pulled or, maybe even just suppressed so it doesn't show up in Google results. That's not that hard to do. Um, so that fewer people see this. This kid, are you like friends with him? What's the
And he doesn't have friends.
Okay, that's
But
not normally
he
someone you're gonna want to make
I mean,
mad.
he does uh is the roommate of the guy who's dating the girl I'm
Um, Micah looks like he's following along with what you're saying. Asher just is like,
with.
oh, I am getting so old. To me, that sounds like your friend's girlfriend is cheating on him with you. Is that what's happening?
We talked about it and agreed it wasn't cheating.
Oh, okay. Not good.
I didn't
So,
run away.
okay. I hate to say this, but sometimes it is good to run away. Sometimes, Leia, sometimes the mistake is staying. Sometimes the mistake is staying and fighting.
Uh,
Okay. Um,
Make the problem go away, please. Or I have to talk to a guy who hates me, who my other friend has a crush on, because she thinks she can fix him, even though I said that's a lie.
who's the guy? Who's the guy?
I, Chris Torres.
Oh, yeah, I mean, maybe you should talk to Chris Torres. That's not the worst idea.
He hates me so much.
I mean, he's like the guardian guy, right? Like, yeah, I can see why he would hate you. You're causing a lot of problems for him. I'm
He could
on
be
your side,
nicer
Leia.
about it.
I'm on your side, okay? I'm on your side. We've all made these kinds of mistakes. It's just, I'm trying to teach you from my experience that maybe you should talk to Chris. Maybe, I mean, it could be good for you. He could teach you how to fight better.
I'm great at fighting.
I didn't say you were bad at fighting, but he could teach you how to fight better.
The entire other team had to pull me off.
Um, Micah like kind of like cuts in and says, "Okay, Leia. Obviously you're rad as hell. All of this is very cool. Like college life, you're like getting the full college experience. I support it. The main thing that we're looking at here is we don't want any of these youthful indiscretions to follow you for the rest of your life. Okay, that's really what we're dealing with here. So obviously, if you can do any kind of thing that's going to be preventing you from getting into more problems, that's going to be good. But let's try to mitigate what's already happened. Okay, so the main thing that we're worried about is somebody out there saw something they weren't supposed to see, right?
Yes.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on this. I know I'm not supposed to say chick. um, we'll keep an eye on her. We'll keep an eye on your blog acquaintance. Um, I mean, the girl thing, I'd be lying if I said I haven't been there, so I really have nothing to
Yeah,
contribute.
how do you impress women?
Mike kind of smirks a little bit. He's like, I mean, it seems like you already are. Asher, Asher's like, I mean, I think if you, I mean, what I did, um, is, I like kind of like showed her how fast I could run, on like the first date, which was cool. She really liked that. Um, and I like we like went out in the woods and I like dug up a bone, like a really cool bone and showed it to her. So I think that I mean you said there's like woods near your campus,
Yeah,
right? I'm sure you could find like a you know, a
Oh my
deer
god.
bone or
No,
something.
like a deer femur would totally work on me. That makes so much sense.
Yeah, I think dig up a bone. This is the girl's a werewolf, right?
No, she's a human.
Oh, a human?
Uh,
Okay. I mean, the bone thing could still work, I think. Um, hmm. Did she see you get beat up? Or like beat somebody up?
yeah.
I mean, that seems like that's cool.
So I should beat up more people.
Micah is like, you should absolutely not be beating up more people if you can help it. Because that's gonna be kind of a history, that's gonna be harder to, you know, if this was to go to court. I don't know, like maybe like kickboxing or something, like some consensual beating up. And then I think Asher's like, okay, I have an idea.
Okay, okay.
Here's how you can impress her. You're not gonna like it, but I think this is gonna work. You meet up with Chris, bring the human with you, and then you can challenge Chris. Like, you can be like, oh, we're training together. You can fight him. When you beat him up, then she'll be like, this is cool, but you're not going to be in legal trouble because it's something that you agreed on.
And I get to beat up Chris.
And you get to beat up Chris. So kind of a win-win.
I like it. I like
If
it a lot.
I was a human girl, I think that would impress me.
I mean, like that. I know that's how mom and dad started dating. Was that mom beat up like 3 guys, and dad was like, "Oh man, like this is the one."
Yeah. Yeah. I'm restraining myself so hard from not making a Scott Pilgrim reference. Just 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 so everyone knows what's going on in my
Do
brain.
it, you coward. Do it.
Um, and yeah, so Mike is like, yeah, and I mean, if that doesn't work, I don't know, like get her some flowers or something.
That's plan B.
Um, like listen to her when she's saying stuff to you.
Oh, I'm such a good listener.
They like your brothers both nod and they're like, it runs in the family. We're all great listeners. Is there anything else that you want to talk to your
She
brothers
smells
about while you
so
have them on the phone?
nice.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah, tell us more about how
Yeah,
she
yeah.
smells.
Yeah.
Yeah, they start like doing like the, you know, kind of a normal, not supernatural brother thing as well of like, who is this girl? Like, tell
Yeah,
us more
it's the
about it.
combination of that, but also like dogs seeing new humans.
Yeah, right, yeah. I love that so much. So the next thing that we have to do is Sully is trying to track down Mothman. Um, I think let's start off with a gaze into the abyss roll, I think. So that's plus dark.
Yep. Just went on a lovely little hike. It's a 9.
9 is a mixed success. Oh, here we go. I think you go on a hike more like again, kind of similar to how Athena had to like go kind of far to go to this place to meet up with Chris. I think that you have to go a little distance but to get more into like Appalachia proper. And which is more of like Mothman's stomping grounds, which for you not hard because you are a Pegasus.
I can fly.
So yeah, I would love for you to describe what Sully looks like as he is like flying and like what sort of transformation there is.
So, like, he's kind of got like 2 steps to his, like, he's got like full on horse riding Peggy mode, Peggy 18, like, version, but there's also just sort of like a halfway version where he can just like sprout wings sort of thing. And as he's like going through the like sort of like on his little weekend excursion into the woods. You know, he told B that he's just gonna go for a little experience out in the forest to not worry about him, kind of thing, because you know he's gotta communicate where he's at and his availability, sort of thing. That's he thinks he's doing a good job. And whenever he'll get to, like, let's say he just gets to, because there's a lot of little cliffs and alcoves and things like that, but it's also the forest, and flying does get a little rough in the forest. So he will you just see his wings, like these white, almost angelic like things. They just sort of like almost like phantomly appear because he doesn't want to rip his clothes. And it's magic, so he doesn't have to explain shit. And they just like sprout out, and you see like, well, he'll jump and like his wings will come just right out of like gargoyle style from his back, and he'll just like use them to like float down into the ground, but you hear that whoosh sort of thing, and yeah, it's very majestic. Like very, very majestic.
Yeah, and I think the mixed success for the Gaze into the Abyss is, as soon as you touch down, you're like in like is it daytime or nighttime that you're doing this?
He probably got a really early start that morning, and he wants to be able to make it an all-day thing. So we'll say maybe it's about the time he's turning around. So 2 in the afternoon to go back the way he came.
Yeah, so I think we see this montage of Sully kind of like going around through the woods, like
I'm Mothman hunting, like just cryptid hunting.
And at the point where you're like, okay, I've been, you know, and I think it's even like we see like, you know, shots of this, and we see a shot of like you sitting and like taking a break and like eating, like you brought food with you and stuff like that. And to the point where you're like, I should probably head back. I don't think I'm gonna find him. You go to like, again, like launch yourself to go fly back home, and you see, as you turn, has managed to silently approach you wherever you are. These red eyes and like shadowy figure of Mothman, who's taller than you.
Of course. I would expect at least 8 feet tall.
Yeah. And these big wings. And is just standing there looking at you with like very little expression.
Oh, just the cryptid I was looking for. You are really fluffy.
Yeah, he like tilts his head a little bit, doesn't say anything, just keeps watching you.
I don't know the proper protocol of meeting a cryptid in his territory. But hi, my name is Sullivan Marcos. I am the son of the Gorgon Medusa and the god Poseidon from across the pond there, and then some more continent into the Mediterranean. I am here looking for you. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm here. You've been on the radar. I've been meaning to talk to you about something.
He tilts his head the other way and opens his mouth, and
Just a little beak.
there's a sound of like kind of like an insectoid kind of like chittering sound that comes out. I have to say, it just put in our chat, gods, he is Jovi's type. He's very fluffy. I think there's as you're like looking at him a little more, at first it was kind of hard to distinguish much about him because, you know, you're in the woods, so even though it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's not dark. It is shadowy in here. You have the
Yeah.
coverage from like the trees and things
Appalachia's
like
got
that.
a thick,
So he's a
thick
little hard.
canopy. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little hard to see much about him, but as your eyes kind of adjust and you're looking at him, you can see he's got like kind of I feel like most depictions of Mothman, he's like ripped. And I don't think that's this Mothman. This Mothman is like
It's
a
it's
little
a little guy. But in an
yeah.
8-foot package.
He's 8 feet tall.
Mhm.
And like is I would say like is like fat, is like, you know, got some
Yeah.
heft to him. And very like literally fluffy, like a moth.
Mhm.
He is not wearing any clothes. But he does have kind of like the fluff, kind of like with a lot of like animals where it's like it's not like he's like Dr. Manhattan or whatever and his dick is just out. Like
Not
We
the
don't
only
even know if
strange
Mothman
dick.
has a dick. What? Like he does. Like what is?
that's true. Looking at him, you don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
He's got some fluff.
Mhm.
But doesn't say anything, just like makes this kind of insect-like sound with his mouth. And is still just kind of head tilted looking at you.
Okay, we need to figure out how to communicate. Because you don't have the same mouth type to make the same type of mouth noises that I can make. Man, are Mothmen psychic?
I don't even think this is a role.
Mm-hmm.
I think you start thinking like, are Mothman psychic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think you're not necessarily. I don't know if Sully's scared right now, but keep your cool is like an information gathering kind of role. And even if you're not like terrified right now, like there's some uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and roll plus cold to see if you
Yeah.
can figure out like what you can do to
It's a
communicate.
9 again, so.
On a 7 to 9, I will tell you how the actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of thinking like, okay, is Mothman psychic? And you think, yes, like that is something that you've heard about Mothman. So you think if you kind of open up your mind and like make it so that you are willing to communicate and willing to like have this psychic connection with him, that is how you could communicate.
Mm-hmm.
The danger with that is it's kind of all or nothing. Either your mind is closed off to him or he is going to know you intimately after this conversation.
Mm-hmm. The Val is fighting the Sully right now in this. Like, cause Mothman. Please, Daddy.
You can.
Like,
Sully is straight. Sully is straight.
Sully is, of course, we don't know what Mothman's actual gender or sex is. He could be like an 8th gender for all we know. It's
That's
Mothman.
Sully's like, I could still be straight. Be attracted to Mothman. We don't know.
But the thing is, Sully's brain right now is solely on making sure that his friend gets to stay in Ohio. For some reason, she wants to be here, so we're gonna make sure she can stay in Ohio. So he will accept the consequences that Mothman will know Sully intimately. But those intimate feelings for Mothman, they're not for Mothman. But Mothman, I think, is going to know where Sully's heart lies with that. And it's, yeah, I think that's, Mothman is going to know Sully's feelings all of the time. Yeah.
You make the decision, you're like, I have to go through with this. I have to help my friend.
Yeah.
One, I actually do think this goes into your move of keep moving forward. So I think you get to mark experience for this. Mark experience when you've made significant improvement before moving on to the next thing. And I think making this commitment right now fits into that. So you're just getting all the XP today.
I am. Yeah, I definitely am.
And so you open yourself up to the psychic presence of Mothman, and feel immediately this kind of like tentative kind of probing in your mind of like someone kind of like almost the vibe of like creaking the door open
Mm-hmm.
and like taking a look inside. And when nothing happens, when there's no retaliation, when you don't close your mind off immediately again, you feel this flood as he is rifling through your mind. You are also
It's very
experiencing,
alien. Yeah.
yeah, and you're kind of getting like it's almost like your life flashing before your eyes kind of vibes of this.
Mm-hmm.
And what are some things that Sully, like things from Sully's life that would be like kind of notable to him as it's all kind of flashing past?
Mm. Mm. I think it's one of the first things that Mothman gets specifically is childhood loneliness and isolation, because other than
Yeah.
camp when he was younger, his mom just does not trust people because of her own history, right? So he was isolated most of his youth from like people his age. So you kind of get that, and with that sort of like this excitement of being around people and peers, but also the uncertainty of even how to act around others, and happy that he's friends with mostly monsters because that's comfortable. And then you get immediate concern for Athena, because his oldest friend, so that immediate concern, and with that, his crush on Sam. His not crush on B. Like, he likes B a lot, but he's doing what he's doing out of obligation and commitment, and it's he knows that he's going to burn out with that very quickly, and is hoping he can hold on to Valentine's Day with that.
Yeah.
That is his emotion with that. He doesn't know how long it'll last, just that it has to last to Valentine's Day for Athena. He gets the emotions that he feels about Leia, and how like he really just wants Leia to like him, but he keeps screwing up and like taking Leia's girl from her. Like, and he doesn't know what to do about that, and he's so he gets that, and then he gets the feeling of the direct feeling associated with Mothman, in that he is here to help Mothman make a romantic connection.
The sentences we say
Yeah.
playing this game. You feel someone
Mm-hmm.
experience your whole life with you.
Oh, wow.
And at the end of it,
Mm-hmm.
feel not from you, like you're not
Mhm.
experiencing this emotion, but feel this intense sense of compassion, this deep understanding and compassion for you. Sorry.
I love
Sorry,
him.
Val.
I love him so much.
And so Sully is not psychic, so you're not
Yeah.
experiencing Mothman's like everything.
Yeah.
But he's communicating with you. You can feel that he's like kind of sending these own things to you. You get the vibe definitely that Mothman doesn't have the way to communicate that like you would, where it's
Mhm.
like you're not hearing like a voice in your head that's like, oh, now we can talk. Like that's
Mhm.
not. Instead, you are getting these flashes of Mothman's life. And these experiences of also growing up very lonely and being lost in these woods and being separated from his family and separated from his culture and having encounters with people where he is not able to communicate with them and is not able to participate in their culture and doesn't understand it. You also get this sense of like kind of not adolescence, but like young adulthood from him,
Mm-hmm.
where regardless of how old Mothman actually is or how long he's been in these woods, um, kind of a vibe that like you and he are not that different from each other, that you
The
have this
mental
kind of
age is
sense.
the same.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like the experiences where he's had such an isolated life, and
Mm-hmm.
hasn't had very many interactions with people. And so like how can you it's hard to like grow and become like a
Yep.
like an adult when you don't have interactions with other people. Um, and then I think the last emotion that you get from Mothman in this kind of like mind meld moment is confusion, like at this kind of like almost like I don't know what this is when you have this feeling of like I want to help you romantically,
Yeah.
like just a like what even is that from Mothman of like I don't even know what this concept is, I don't know what this emotion that you're feeling is, I don't understand it.
That is overwhelming. Like, not even, it's not, oh, you know what? Sully is currently just whelmed right now. There's a lot of whelmed in this moment. Not over, not under, whelmed.
Whelmed.
um,
You're at your precise limit.
yep. Um, and, he sort of takes a moment and he's like, uh, if you I have somebody who wants to meet you, and they're a human unlike us, so I want to help facilitate this meeting because I noticed that you could use some company, and so can this person. And if this is someone who would definitely enjoy your company on a regular basis, unabashed, and if he is afraid, it would probably be Scorny, but I don't think that that's a problem. I think that he has expectations of you, and from what I have experienced in these 10 minutes, he will be whelmed with such an experience.
Sully, as you're talking,
Mm-hmm.
it's this really interesting kind of phenomenon where you can tell that the words that you're saying mean almost nothing to Mothman.
Mm-hmm.
But because you have the psychic connection, he is gleaning kind of like your thoughts and emotions more like conceptually. So like as you're like kind of like saying all these different things, like still kind of just this look tilted head, um and
Can
then
can something be projected, like, from me to Mothman?
yes.
I want to, like, just sort of through my eyes let him observe the loneliness and happiness that is Jovi. Like, when he was, like, away and injured after his thing, and then when he was excited to help us when he learned that monsters were real, and when I was like, yeah, there's a Mothman, you could probably, and I want you to show Mothman how excited Jovi is to know that he exists. And, like, and it's
I love that
very
so
genuine.
much.
Yeah.
You focus on Jovi and focus on trying to like realizing like okay, words are not really going to do it
Mm-hmm.
here. I need to like focus on this person. And so you're focusing on memories of Jovi and like your feelings towards him and the feeling that you're trying to convey. And Mothman kind of like his head goes back to center. Um, and then there's like kind of a nod as like maybe he's gleaned from like your memories and things like this is a thing that I can do that will communicate a certain thing. And so it does this nod and then reaches out his hand to grab yours.
Oh. Okay, I grab my man's hand.
As soon as you grab his hand, his wings extend and flap to like begin to fly back towards Buckland College with you.
Nice. As soon as we're in the air, I also spread my wings. I was like, oh, we're going now. Okay.
So we see these like this like completely like pitch black form of Mothman with these like big black wings, and then versus I'm imagining Sully has white wings because Pegasus is usually white. Is that accurate? So Sully has this like Sully's white wings next to Mothman's black wings as you two fly.
Oh man, the hikers that do exist though get some things. By the way, while we are mid-air, because I probably have really good reception above the canopy, I'm going to like, with my free hands, since I'm holding Mothman, I'm gonna take a selfie and I'm gonna send it to our group chat. Just be like, Mothman's a go, we're heading to Buckland.
I wish that I could draw. I would love to draw what that selfie looks like.
I can't draw, so I could.
I'm just imagining Mothman's like partially like in frame, like red, like I'm imagining just like a moth head basically is his head, just these red eyes and the little like antenna and just kind of like somehow furrowed brow, looking into the camera
with his cute little antennies, and he's like, like,
what
and
is
we're
this?
holding hands.
I love that
and
so
I
much.
send that so everybody in group chat gets it.
Yeah,
I will say it's it's probably happening literally in the middle of like me like sparring with Chris. So I do like I look at it, it's like, huh, I guess he found him and shows the picture. And I will also note, Athena did not forget how Leia was like, I'll totally kill you, and how insulted she was by that. It's like, hey, by the way, can you teach me some tricks on like how to like maybe take down a werewolf, because Leia had the audacity.
Oh, can you, Athena, can you roll to turn someone on? Because what is more attractive than a sparring match?
It's true.
Oh my god, he's also someone.
Please.
A sexually charged fencing match.
Just shaking hands on like being attracted to people who like fights. 11.
Perfect. You get a string on Chris. Ooh, what is he gonna do? It's too early for him to be overly romantic, I think. So I think we'll do I promise something I think you want. And yeah, during this, like, I think you have this, you know, you say this thing, like maybe the two of you are already kind of doing some kind of like he was like, hey, do you want to like finish my workout with me or whatever? And you say like, oh yeah, like teach me how to fight so I can beat a werewolf. And he gets like this kind of like grin on his face, and he's like, oh, yeah, I can show you some tricks. And I think, yeah, we get like this montage. I think he's showing you like some like ways to subdue specifically werewolves, because Chris doesn't fight monsters generally. Like sometimes maybe he has to, but most of the time it's like trying to do non-lethal kind of stuff. So it's like showing you some like, yeah, and if you can just like kind of, you know, grab them by the scruff of their neck, it's like showing you
just like shove your fist down their throat. That's how you.
Now, should I grab the scruff with like a clawed hand or a regular hand? Like, which one will be more effective?
I thought you and Leia were friends. I would use your hand if you're not wanting to hurt her.
That's so true. But she did offend me with that comment, so whichever works.
Claws all the way. Yeah, and I think part of that too is that like Chris is a fighter. Like he's trained his life to do this. So it's not necessarily that Athena and Chris are like evenly matched. Because like I think you get the vibe from this like kind of flirtatious like fighting. He could beat you in a fight. Like if the odds were in his
Athena's
favor and it wasn't like
if she needs to be, but she typically is not.
But again, you get this like kind of like he agreed to do this fight with you, thinking like she's not really gonna be able to do anything. Like this is gonna be fun, but like I'm gonna need to teach her a lot. And you get this energy from him as he like kind of pushes you more to your limits. That he's like impressed at that you're keeping up. That he's like kind of ratcheting it up more than he thought he was going to. How does Leia respond to getting this text from
I want
Sully?
it to be while she's talking to Micah and Asher, and she just like her phone is next to her, but my friend found Mothman.
What? Micah like literally like leans into his screen and is like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not think that guy was real.
Yeah, never did I.
Is this good? Should I drive down to you?
Got everything handled. Ignore the last 40 minutes of what I said and believe that, please.
Okay, I'm only believing you because I have court in like a half an hour, so I don't have time to meet Mothman right now. Okay.
I can send him your way if you want an autograph.
Asher like has muted himself and is just like laughing. Like just like maybe like I think like is completely leaned back in his chair, like face red from like laughing so hard at like what's happening right now. And Micah is just like, no, I think I'll wait to see kind of what his vibes and intentions are before I'll have you send Mothman to my house. But thank you for the veiled threat.
I think the intention is to find him love.
Okay, Leia, I gotta go.
Did Leia tell her brothers about the thing Athena's going through right now, about the whole romance thing? I need to know at least what their reactions would be for that.
Oh, yeah. I think that probably slips her mind until Mothman finds love. It's like, no, wait, like, my friend is in some fae trouble, and, like, she's gonna get kicked out of college if we don't get couples to fall in love. And the guy with the blog, we think this was a group decision. He and Mothman would really get along.
Okay, well, luckily for me, I don't know anything about fae law. I kind of, mostly just know human law, so...
polyamory law.
Human law, aka polyamory law. And he's like, so, yeah, that's some legal help I can't really offer you.
If you know anyone, send them our way. Also, watch out for fairies trying to break up you and your fiance. Cause you're not students, but like, I don't know, I don't trust fairies.
Oh, okay. I've been, meeting with your, I guess not really friend, but, Sybil. Her case is going well. I think might be able to not have too much jail time for her.
You are cool. Everyone's gonna be super excited to hear that.
Athena's gonna love this.
And he's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not so good I can completely get her off scot-free. I think she did murder some people. Yeah, but yeah, I'm doing my best.
That insanity plea goes a long way.
Yeah. Man, everyone is gonna love that.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to cut that scene. I think we'll jump ahead a little bit. Actually, oh dang, but we do have Mothman and Jovi.
I'm gonna leave Mothman at the edge of the. You know what? I want to leave Mothman at the makeout spot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
You know, and then I communicate to him that, you know, I need him to stay in the area and close.
Yeah.
But whenever you sense my presence is into this forest, we will meet here, and it you know, for whatever reason, it might not be tonight because I might have to. It actually might be tonight because Jovi would probably be really excited. But you know, there are things.
You feel when you're kind of like talking about this and like, oh, this is what might happen. You feel this kind of curiosity, kind of almost like in inquisitive, I think, energy, and then in your own mind, this flash of like you and B when you were hooking up, with this kind of like inquisitive like thing, as if to say like, is this what you're like? Is this the thing that you're trying to have happen with me and Jovi? It's like
This is
very
to happen.
Like honestly, like replaying getting oral sex through Mothman, like through my own vision, is very weird.
It's like the energy from Mothman in this is like when a kid like finds their parents' vibrator and is like, hey, what's this? Like that's kind of like
I sort of like instead I sent him back the feelings about my actual crush.
Oh. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. You sense some relief. From Mothman. Are you heading like straight back to your dorm room
I have
to
this
get
moment
Jovi?
as we're going back, like as I'm walking back, and I was like, I bet Mothman has big dick problems too, so I understand.
Mothman and Sully shaking hands.
Like, understand.
Predator handshake. Yeah, are you going back to your dorm?
I'm going back to the dorm, but I'm checking my messages to see if anyone messaged me back, like, you know, Athena or Leia about, you know, I literally brought Mothman back, and, you know, I will go, Mothman's waiting at the makeout bluff, wanna meet to talk about this? Like, as I send that message out, to my friends.
Athena would answer with a selfie of her and Chris, but then it's like,
I thumbs down it.
No!
Yeah, she did that on purpose. Like, I think I may have like a hangout date, not with this person here, with Chloe. So, but I may meet you a little bit later, depending, because I'm also doing a jazz club thing around that location too. So. You may see me. Also, Leia, he says hi.
Kind of like seeing this, like there's like this like moment of like, y'all can't see it because, you know, it's through text messaging, but Sully just kind of like has that isolated feeling just like happen again, like just like, okay, so I guess I'm doing this by myself, and then has a moment and he goes, if Sam is here, I bet she would have helped me. And like, you know, just kind of takes like a deep breath and is like, all right, we're gonna
be a big boy
Jovi.
and do this thing.
Yeah.
Sully, you head back to your dorm room. And Jovi is not there right now, but like, you know, like it's around the time that he would be getting back from like a class or whatever. But when you go in, you can see there is a bouquet on your desk that has a little note on it.
But like flowers?
Yeah.
For you! For you!
Flowers for you!
What? Sully's like, somebody got me flowers? I look for a note to see who got me flowers.
Yeah, you see the note says, B. And it says, like, there's a little note inside that said, wanted to cheer up your day.
I take a selfie with the flowers. I'm gonna roll to keep my cool, and if I fail, I want, just hold on. God damn it, I fucking passed. If I failed, I wanted to have accidentally also sent the, you know what, can we just still do it? Can we also just accidentally send the picture
well,
of
here we go.
like, you know how sometimes
Let's put the protocols in place for you!
Val, actually, I'm gonna do something that might make this easier on you.
Okay.
Let's pretend the roll never happened.
Let's pretend the roll never happened. Yeah.
You go to take a selfie with the flowers.
Yeah.
And as soon as they get close to your face, I'm gonna pull a string from Queen Mab, who is in the Flower Fairy Court. And as soon as the flowers are close to your face, you instantly fall asleep. And begin to dream.
Oh,
so one of the things that I can do with strings is I can set something up and knock it down immediately. So I can basically have something not good happen to your character without very much warning.
Yeah.
And you instantly fall asleep. I think from the outside we just see Sully kind of crumple.
No, he's a horse. He sleeps standing up.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I just kind of like
so we
stand there and just like sort of doze.
It's so cuddle.
Something more upsetting, which is just your eyes close and your knees lock and you stand in place while you're asleep.
I feel so bad for Jovi when he walks into this. It's gonna terrify him. Yeah.
So you begin to have a dream. And in this dream, you are like sitting at a kitchen table that you don't recognize. You're in a kitchen that you don't recognize. But you can tell that this is your house, like in that kind of dream way where you're like, oh, okay, I know this place even though I've never been here. And sitting across from you is B. And she looks older, looks like maybe like in her like 30s. You can feel, even though like you know that you won't age the same way that a human does, you can feel that you're like older, that you're like a little more tired. I think is the first thing that you feel, that you're like some time has passed. And in this dream, you know, again, and this doesn't necessarily have to be that Sully feels this way, but it's just that way that in dreams where it's like you feel something in your bones as you are looking across at B and the two of you are, you know, eating dinner. Let's say it's pineapple and onion pizza.
His favorite.
And you can see that B does not like the pizza, but she's eating it anyway. And you can feel this knowledge that if you continue the path that you are on, you will be living a life where you love B. And you are stuck in this relationship where you love her, but she does not love you.
How long do I stay asleep for? Do I wake up relatively soon after the dream?
Yes, I think you could wake up, like, you could have that, like, kind of realization. And I think there's also this, like, kind of flood of realizations of, like, in this dream, you know that, like, you are, like, you didn't go back to Canada after college, that you're still in the U.S., that you feel almost like there's a part of you, maybe even the real Sully that's dreaming this, where you maybe even feel this impulse to run away, like sometimes happens in dreams where you're like, I can get out of this. And if Sully is feeling that way or feeling that impulse, when you even go to try to spread your wings, you feel that you can't. Like you are stuck here through your own emotions and your own actions. You are stagnant in this relationship, even though so much time has passed. And I think with that realization, if Sully tries to go to unfurl his wings and realizes that he can't, that's when you wake up.
And he just like kind of jolts awake and almost falls back because he fell asleep standing up. And he looks around and he's like, and he is alone after putting all of his effort into energy into helping his friend. He is alone, and they're off wrestling with boys. She is off wrestling with boys. His other friend hates him because of he is obligated to stay with this girl. So Sully enters his darkest self.
Oh, Sully!
In that moment, the weight and responsibility of like, why am I doing this? Because it doesn't seem like anyone fucking cares, and I am sacrificing my happiness in this moment. So Sully isn't. He doesn't like. He doesn't physically run away.
Yeah.
He leaves group chat.
Oh no.
Dang it, B, you left the sex move too early.
Her foibles. B's foibles.
You damn harlot.
I'm gonna read The Darkest Self for the Pegasus, just for the benefit of the audience. You've carried the weight of all these problems, all this stress, all these serious and important issues for what? Forget about them. Throw aside your problems and live in the moment. Who cares about school, work, or responsibilities anyways? You're still a kid after all. Go have fun and do what you love and save your problems for tomorrow's you. You escape your darkest self when someone confronts you with serious problems you cannot ignore anymore. So we see this kind of like change. What is the change in like, because you said that's not like a physical transformation, but what is the change in like Sully's body language and like expression?
There is that kind of like nervous horse energy that he has had through the first part of this season and whatever. It's just sort of like flickers away, and he gets this air of confidence about him that is like he kind of straightens out. He looks a little bit taller. He is the son of gods. Why does he have to stoop to whatever this is? And there is that sort of like snootiness. I am better than all of these people, and they're gonna know.
Yeah, and we kind of see almost like a weight is lifted off of Sully as you can't find it in yourself to care about any of this anymore. It's so beneath you.
He doesn't even care enough to break up with B. He just ghosts. He's ghosting all of you.
Everybody. And
the only person he can't ghost is Mothman because they're psychically connected. So Mothman is getting all of this right now.
Mothman is like, what the hell is going on with this kid?
Poor Mothman.
And I think we go back over to Athena, and this is the last thing we'll do because we are just about the time we need to wrap. Athena, you get a text from Kylie, and as you get the text, like maybe actually just even like 10 to 15 minutes before, you feel this notification of that Queen Mab has a point. And surprisingly, this is not even necessarily what just happened with Sully. We'll get to that next week because you get a text. You get a text from Kylie that says, did you feel that?
Yeah. What? What?
And she texts back, Rose and her girlfriend broke up, and I thought it was just because they're long distance and they've been on the edge of breaking up since last semester, but
Oh, god damn it. Ah!
And I think that is where we will end our session for today.
Wow.
With definitely 1 point. You're at least tied, but we'll have to see.
Wow.
If this
Tied.
ends up being 2
Yay.
points situation. So yeah, we're gonna go around and let you know where you can find us, what else we have going on, etc., etc. And we're gonna start with Ava again.
Hello, my darlings and dears. It's your mother, Ava, here. You can find me anywhere at Madame Ava Couture. I'm mainly still on Twitter, but you can also follow my beacons. I will update that, I swear, I promise. Right now, you can find me on Thursdays on Fusca's channel for D&D, where we died and try to get out of hell, I think. And then on Sundays, we should be back to regular scheduling at this point, whenever this comes up. Lunaissance Dunray, the Thirsty Sword Lesbian campaign over on Mixed Wizard Corpse, where I played a nervous daughter of King Arthur. That should be back for season 3 at this point. I'll see you when I see you. I'm sad now.
No.
Go, MJ, go.
Hi, everyone. I am MJ. You can find me on the Bird app at Melanie J. I mostly yell about sports on there. Apart from that, I am a professional game master on Start Playing. If you ever want to know what I'm like on the other side of the table, I just listed a bunch of new campaigns. Please help me pay for law school. And I'm throwing it to Val.
Hi everyone, I am Val. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Valduranth on all of the apps. If it's not Valduranth, it's Valduranth TTRPG. I produce tabletop content for me and my friends over my channel. Currently this season we stream Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. On Thursdays we have an Old Gods of Appalachia actual play at 5 p.m. called Echoes of the Valley. On Fridays we have an Avatar Legends game season. We're in book 2 for that, called A Rain of Smoke and Ashes. Our friend Arnica is the storyteller for that. And on Saturdays my friend Emma runs, I just produce for it, I don't even play, runs a Mass Effect skin 5th edition, and that's at noon noon PST over on my channel. So if you're interested in any of those things, and of course look up my YouTube and seasons will be there. So yeah, that's me. So Taylor, you're last, friend.
Yeah, I'm Taylor Felicity. I'm actually going to forego doing plugs and stuff for me. Instead, I'm going to say the reason why this episode is on YouTube instead of streamed live on Twitch is because Girls Run These Worlds is participating in the global strike in support of Palestine. So if you're watching this and a ceasefire hasn't already been called since this is on YouTube, I would say call your representatives to get in contact with people to urge them to call for a ceasefire in Palestine. There are a lot of different organizations that you can donate to. There's SIM cards, different organizations getting SIM cards so that Palestinians can communicate with the rest of the world. So really urge you to go check out and see what you can do. And also if there are rallies or marches or anything like that near you that you can participate in, I would say go to them if you can, and also please wear a mask if you go to them because COVID numbers are really high right now. So that's everything for me. I don't think I have anything from Girls Run These Worlds that I need to announce. So you can, if you're here on YouTube, subscribe, go over to Twitch and follow us on Twitch over there. But I think that's everything that I have to talk about.
Awesome. Right.
Bye, everyone. From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.